Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video I'll be doing the Brisbane versus West Coast game review, going through who went well, mostly from the Brisbane side of it, and who didn't go so well. There wasn't too many bad guys that or guys that didn't score so well, but yes, so I got some good cash in out of my rookies at least. But we'll go through who didn't go so well and how the Dunkley absence sort of impacted the Brisbane Lions. So before we get into the video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. So as you can see here, Gunston ended up kicking, I think it was 6 goals 2 or 6 goals 3 or something. He ended up absolutely smashing it, and yeah, he was massive in the first and the last. He kicked 2 goals in the first and ended up, I think, kicking 3 in the last as well. Here we go, 1, 2, 3. He kicked 3 goals, 2 in the last for a 53-point effort, which was just absolutely hectic, and honestly could have ended up with 7 or 8 if he kicked straight, as I think he also kicked 1 out of bounds on the full or something from memory. Not 100% sure about that, but yeah, NEALE as well had a really good second half, as he had 72 second half, and he got away from us basically at the end here. You can see in red time he put up, 25 points in 10 or so minutes basically. If I look at Gunston's score, yeah, 10 or so minutes. And yeah, just annoying, as I thought he was going to end up around that 115, as a lot of people had the VC on him. But I mean, I ended up beating out those guys that had the VC, but they caught up a lot of points because of Johnson. Basically, Johnson was a massive outlier this week, and yeah, that's the reason why I basically dropped a little bit, or wasn't able to massively catch up to people this week, was because of NEALE, and that kind of sucks. But anyway, I think McCluggage was one guy that really heavily impacted positively with the Dunkley out of the side, as he went from sort of this, I don't know exactly, but he went to basically a full-time mid-role rather than his role with Dunkley in the side. And that's what caused him to go massive. And 118 was absolutely huge. I don't know what role he's necessarily going to have next year, as he might go back to that off the ball. I don't know whether it was a wing or half forward type role, but he might actually become fantasy relevant again. Then you have Ashcroft here, 113. Of course, when I take him out of my side, he goes 95, 113, and I could have just gotten rid of, I guess, other guys. I mean, what's Ashcroft sitting at now? Let me get Ashcroft up. He's sitting at 712, which I basically traded him out at, and he would have provided me with a basically 210 or so points or so. So what did I end up trading him out for? Because it could be the difference. What did I trade him out for? I traded him out for Himmelberg and Doherty. So, and of course Young in that time has gone 83 and 108. So he's actually beaten out Harry Himmelberg, or basically drawn level with him. Yeah, did Hayden Young actually gain? He basically gained a little bit, but again, Harry Himmelberg has gained. That trade has gained me somewhere close to around. Let's just look at my battery. I might have to run for a second. A mid-recording battery charging my laptop because it's on like 5%, and I don't want to lose half of this recording as well. But yeah, back to my point. Ashcroft has sort of helped me has sort of hindered me massively actually going huge, but it has a tough matchup next week. Dunkley probably back, so I couldn't have predicted Dunkley getting injured in the first place, and I could have probably predicted the 113, but I think he would have heavily been impacted by Dunkley and probably dropping to like 95. So I think in principle it was the right trade. It just sometimes it just doesn't work out. And this is one of those times with hindsight, I wouldn't have made this trade, but looking at what I was looking at, I think it was the better trade with Dunkley being fit. But sometimes you make mistakes like that, so who knows. And then Lions 110. And I guess it was a rookie, so I didn't have 100% trust in him. But anyway, made a mistake, and yeah. Lions 37, he'll probably get dropped in the last quarter. He'll probably get dropped once Dunkley comes back, and there's been a lot of conflicting reports, so I don't know if he necessarily will get dropped or not, but we'll have to wait and see. McInerney went huge against basically no ruckman in, was it Williams here? Bailey Williams went 69, so he didn't do anything. Coleman 77, Wilmot 76, so again, he's gained a lot of cash again. So kind of annoyed that I dropped him as he gained 31k. And I could have dropped Johnson, and I would have gained 35 points there. So that was a big stuff up on my part. I just didn't think Johnson was going to do that, and Wilmot was going to do that, and that would have actually gained me. It would actually gain me enough to get Sicily this week, but I should have actually thought about that logically. But I didn't think with Wilmot having a 34 break even and Johnson a 20. I thought Johnson was probably the better choice to keep. Bailey, Rayner, Hipwood, McKenna, Robertson, Zorko, Danaher, Starcevic. No, none of these guys really matter. Fletcher was good. I think he kicked it, good early, but then did nothing in the last quarter. Don't know if that might be an injury or not, but we'll have to wait and see. I could be completely wrong there, and they obviously took out Zorko at 3/4 time because this game was dead. Hunt 126, he did really well in the second half, 77 points second half to get there after a 49 first. Duggan is another guy I'm looking at, but we'll have to wait and see. I need to talk to people because this is a crucial trade for me to get. I think I can still gather momentum and get up to that like 1.5k, even top 1k. I think it's still doable with 7 rounds to go. I'm only 900 points off top 100, but that's probably not in the making now. But top 1000 is probably only 500 points off. And I think if I make the right trade and Dunkley does come back this week, I'm going to be gaining 30 or so points just off Dunkley alone on other people. So 30 points per round, that's already like two fifths, like 40% of the margin from top 1000 in just holding Dunkley alone. And then also if I can get my trade right and pick that guy that's going to go 110 plus for the last 7 weeks, I think that'll be another 10 points per round, and that'll get me pretty much to needing only 200 point gap based on my like Himmelberg, Darcy Cameron and Keys, who I think can easily do that. And then being able to also upgrade with the likes of Campbell Chesser, who's starting to gain a lot of value, Mullins, as well as Noah Long, who I need to trade out soon, and obviously trading out Sheldrick, and Williams should be able to gain a lot, as well as Windhager. So I have still a lot of money off the bench, over 210, 260, 530 odd, 700, and then even here as well. So I have already still got like 720 odd thousand off the bench to put onto field, and that'll be able to upgrade a lot of my guys up to the premiums that I need, as well as a lot of them are still going to be gaining value in Chesser, Mullins, Williams, as well as Windhager as well, still gaining a lot of cash. And then no one else. And then we move on to, obviously we talked about Duggan. Hoff was actually really good in the second and third, and he started to take off. Kelly was pretty consistent as well. He's just going to be that guy that's around 850k and always putting up 100, it seems like. Witherden 105 without without Hearn, who looks like he'll be back this week, I believe. Put up another good score, but not really fantasy relevant. And I think he's almost in a never again list. Not because I don't necessarily have a full never again type list. It's just with the way Witherden is played and stuff like that, he's so big of risk for the reward of what he gets. So I'd rather just go for someone else, because he basically plays when other people don't, and that is so risky in AFL fantasy, especially if you get an injury here or there and you cannot trade Witherden. It can become a massive risk. Dom Sheed 75, Williams 69, Chesser 66, so that was really good from him just to get that. Hewitt 62, he looked really good early and then faded massively. Like he was on I think 9 or 8 disposals very, very quickly. Petrocelli no longer got up to 44 just because of the back of this 10-point effort in the space of a little bit, and then another 8 points effort pretty quickly here as well. And then another mark here that really helped him as well. Williams here, I think he's going to become relevant because he can also get that loophole with that ruck forward that you have at R3, and that's sort of why I picked him. And yeah, fair effort, and he got the job done for me, getting some cash, and I think he'll be one of the guys that I trade out like in the last round just to gain 60 or 70k. Dazo, Barras, Marek, not the greatest, and obviously he gained a lot of cash, but 41, so just sort of going to be that 40s guy. Oscar Allen got his goal, and then Jimby's really been disappointing. I think Jimby's going to be that second year or third year breakout type of guy. He will break out at some point. I just think he's getting overworked in this sort of midfield, and he's just tired at this point. Gaff, Cripps, and then Cole came on in the last quarter and put up 23. I'm pretty sure, yeah, he came on at 3/4 time and put up 23 in the last. So fair effort from him. So that's the video there. And if we go back to the main screen, that's the Brisbane versus West Coast game. And I'll see you guys in another video. Thanks, guys. Goodbye.